Hi everybody, my name is Kenya and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, I usually talk about real estate, mostly rentals, because that's my little niche that I stick to for now. So in this video, I will be taking you guys with me to check out a railroad apartment. Now, railroad apartments are apartments that are basically found in major cities like New York City and San Francisco. So if you're interested, definitely stay tuned. And yeah, let's go. You guys, welcome to what is known as a railroad apartment. So a railroad apartment usually has two entrances, one at one end of the apartment and the other at the other end of the apartment. So as I stated, a railroad apartment is an apartment that you walk straight through. So usually the bathroom is right next to the kitchen because all the plumbing is in the same spot. So this bathroom, it's pretty small. And also, another thing about a railroad apartment is that there are not that many windows. The only windows you'll see in a railroad apartment are windows at the back of the apartment, which is towards the kitchen, and the windows are at the front of the apartment and the farthest bedroom. So here we have a nice kitchen. Don't make the people dizzy, Cordell. Then we have a small living room area, and railroad apartments are really narrow as well. So we have one window here. As you can see, this room here, this part right here, they like sort of put up a wall and made closets. But I'm pretty sure that back in the day, this was considered a bedroom. This would be considered a doorway. So like there's no privacy between one room and the next. So this is kind of like upgraded a little bit, but still railroad apartment style. So this is the doorway. So you walk from the kitchen to the living room, and this would have been one bedroom back in the day. And this would be, I'm pretty sure this is probably even a 3-bedroom railroad apartment. And then you have, this would be another room. And I'm sure that the way it has been redesigned, this was actually opened up. And then this would be like a 3rd bedroom. For me, working in real estate, working as a rental agent and seeing so many railroad apartments, I can imagine that this used to be a 3-bedroom railroad apartment. And so this would be like the 3rd bedroom.
Yo, these windows are so small.
I know, these windows are really tiny. But I can imagine that with the newer construction, they opened up this wall to make this a bigger bedroom. But you can see these tiny windows, window 1, 2, so tiny, and then the 3rd window over there. Now, this would be the next door in a railroad apartment. Like I said, there's always an entrance at the back of the apartment and in the front of the apartment. So railroad apartments are usually pre-war buildings, and as I've stated in previous videos, a pre-war building is any building that was built before World War II. And this is a 3rd-story walk-up, meaning there were no elevators in this apartment building. And these buildings were built the apartments were built very narrow, and this was around the time that a lot of soldiers were coming back from World War II, and the housing crisis in the city was out of control. There wasn't enough housing for the amount of people that were coming back from war and just moving to major cities to better their lives. So the economical and cheaper alternative was to build railroad type of apartments. Even as of today, renting out railroad apartments, like railroad apartments go for less than a typical, just a regularly built apartment or flat or whatever you want to call it. Railroad apartments are also known as shotgun apartments depending on what city that you are in. So as I was saying earlier, railroad apartments were basically something quick and just cheaper to throw up for, you know, just to accommodate the housing crisis in major cities, meaning that, you know, there wasn't much choices for housing. And this is where rent controlled apartments had come into play as well. Landlords are charging, you know, astronomical amounts of money for apartments because they knew it was a shortage of housing. So that's where the rent control housing laws came into play. So also one great thing about the city is you got your fire escape. So you could just go out on a fire escape and chill, you know. And also, if you live in parts of Brooklyn where like the neighborhoods are predominantly Jewish, you will see a lot of families just sitting outside on their fire escapes with their kids, like at this point, like today in present time. Another thing with the housing crisis back in the early 1900s, one thing about railroad apartments would be like that 3 families would occupy a railroad apartment and each family would stay in a room. I can't imagine it. Like, that's just too close for comfort. 3 families living in one apartment with one tiny bathroom. Child, please. Another thing about railroad apartments is that with each room having a doorway, which is kind of weird to me, the last bedroom. So with that, sometimes a family would occupy just the first 2 bedrooms. So they would have the bathroom, the kitchen, the living room. Maybe one of their kids would occupy, maybe their kids would live in this room. Maybe they would live in this room. So before this was opened up, this was obviously just a regular doorway. So if, say for instance, I had nowhere to stay and I needed to rent somewhere to stay, I would probably find this place advertised in the paper, just a room. And the good part is that I could lock my door, which is here, and I could have this door to exit. In order not to have to walk through the other families' spaces, private spaces, they just go out this door over here. And they would walk down the hallway and just go into the front door of the apartment. To use the kitchen and the bathroom so that they didn't have to disturb anybody else's personal space by having to walk through their bedrooms like this. Hey y'all. I know y'all still sleeping, but what's good? And a family could also lock the bedroom door that is closest to the living room area so that the person that is, you know, boarding or staying in the room furthest to the back, if they needed to leave their bedroom and, you know, walk along the hallway in order to use the kitchen or the bathroom, they wouldn't have to worry about that person intruding on their personal space when they weren't home or possibly robbing them or rummaging through their things. So I guess it was a win-win situation for, you know, people during that time. And obviously it worked. And then go use the kitchen and then go shower. So that's how people lived back in the day. And it would be so crowded that the hallway space that I showed you earlier, people would use that as like a community space, like a lounge area. You would see, like if you watch older movies, you'd see people sitting on like these types of stairs, reading books, and their neighbors would walk by and just say, hey. That would be like the common space for everybody that lived in a railroad apartment. So I guess the upside to the situation is that most places that had railroad apartments, there were only 2 apartments on each floor, because I can't imagine all the commotion of dealing with neighbors while living in an overcrowded apartment in an overcrowded city would cause. So I hope that this was helpful. So if you see an ad and it says railroad apartment, this is the type of layout that you're going to get. You're going to get a very narrow apartment. If it says 2 bedrooms, and you plan to have a roommate, somebody gonna have to walk through somebody's room to get to their room. And me personally, once I'm knocked out, I have my robe on, and I don't want nobody walking through my room. Got my scarf on. I'll see you in the morning. So just be aware that window space is not going to be plenty. Privacy is not going to be plenty. But someone that is single, this is technically marketed as a 1-bedroom now, even though it technically used to be a 3-bedroom. Because now, you know, we have lots of clothing and things like that we have. So a young person, this might work for them, even though it's narrow and it doesn't have that many windows. Because it's like, oh my gosh, look at all this closet space. And so people like that, especially millennials like myself. Hey, look at all this closet space. You got storage. They're like, yeah. And then the bedroom just like opens up. You have great space to put a queen or king size bed. You could have chest of drawers, everything you like all throughout the apartment. But like I said, you got 2 windows and that's it. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that I answered all questions about what a railroad apartment is. So guys, if you are here to the end of this video, I would like to thank you guys for coming to kick it with me today. Subscribe for more videos on rentals and real estate and all that great stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in another YouTube video. Toodles!